The Wavy Curve Method, also called the method of intervals, that is used to solve inequalities involving a variable x. That's what the name is, Wavy Curve Method. The question is, how does it work? What are the steps to be followed in its algorithm which actually make us reach to the solution set so quickly of such inequalities? Allow me to formally introduce you to the entire working of Wavy Curve Method by using an example. Suppose I have to solve this particular inequality using the Wavy Curve Method. Now, how does the algorithm of Wavy Curve Method work? Let me make you understand that. The first step always is to bring everything to the left hand side and make right hand side equal to 0. Now fortunately that situation has been created for us. Our right hand side is 0 and the entire expression is sitting on the left hand side. Cool. So step 1 is sorted. Step 2 says the expression that you have on the left hand side, try to factorize it as much as possible. That means try to factorize it to the maximum possible level. What do I mean by that? You have to try to break your expression up and write it in terms of linear factors as much as you can. Now in here, if you look at the expression, it's a quadratic polynomial. Just analyze it a bit and you'll realize it's very simple to break its middle term. Once you do that, you'll be able to write it as product of two linear factors, x minus 5 into x minus 7. So step 2 is done. I have decomposed my expression and written it as product of two linear factors. Right? Step 2 sorted. What is step 3? Step 3 says just extract the distinct linear factors in your expression. So in my expression I have two distinct linear factors. Right? What I have to do is I have to equate each one of them with 0 to get the critical points. So once I'm sorted with these two linear factors to be the distinct linear factors, I'll equate each one of them with 0 and I'll get two distinct critical points, 5 and 7. Step 3 sorted. Step 4 says plot your critical points on the number line. Right? Once you've plotted your critical points on the number line, next what you do? In the same step, what you do? First of all, realize what you want to obtain. You want to obtain the solution set of this inequality. Right? You want those values of x for which my expression is either greater than 0 or equal to 0. That means in the solution set of my inequality, I will only include those real values of x which make my expression either greater than 0 or equal to 0. So begin by checking the critical points. I'll begin with the first critical point, that's 5. Plug it in the expression. This becomes 0. This is non-zero. 0 into anything is 0 only. So my expression is turning out to be 0 for the critical point x equals 5. So I will include it in my solution set. Similarly, next critical point x equals 7. This becomes 0. 0 into anything is 0. So again my expression is coming out to be 0 at x equals 7 critical point. So I will be including it in my solution set. Once I have assessed the behavior of my expression at the critical points, next I realize that these 2 points are actually dividing my entire real line into 3 disjoint regions. The first is all real numbers strictly greater than 7. Second is all real numbers strictly sandwiched between 5 and 7. And third region is all real numbers strictly less than 5. Remember, we always mark the first region as the rightmost region and then consecutively second and third. Okay? So now my target is to find the sign of the expression corresponding to all real numbers sitting in the first region, second region and third region. How do I do that? That is my last step, or second last step I should say. That's my second last step. How do I do that? How do I find the sign of the expression in the first region? Just pick up any one number from the first region. Whatever is the sign of the expression over that one number, same is the sign of the expression throughout the first region. So pick up any number from the first region. 8, suppose 8 I pick up, plug it in the expression, you see that the expression is coming out to be giving you a positive answer. So at 8 my expression is positive, that means throughout the first region my expression will be strictly greater than 0, it will be positive. What about the second region? Pick up any one number from the second region, let's say I pick up 6, convenient numbers, okay? I plug in 6 in the expression, what do I get? The expression is giving me a negative value. So that means throughout the second region the expression will be less than 0 or negative. Similarly, third region, pick up any number from the third region. Let's say I pick up 4, plug it in the expression. What do you get? You get a positive answer. That means throughout the third region, the sign of the expression will be positive. That's the drill that you use to actually obtain the sign of your expression corresponding to each of these regions. Once you are sorted with finding out the nature of your expression corresponding to every real number on the real line, what you do next is that you plot the curve of your expression. How to plot the curve of your expression? Well, the region on the real line where you have positive sign, corresponding to that region, the curve will lie strictly above the x-axis. So in the first region, I have positive sign. So corresponding to the first region, the curve will lie above the x-axis. Second region, negative sign. So the curve will lie strictly below the x-axis. Third region, positive sign. Again, the curve will lie strictly above the x-axis. Corresponding to the solid circles, the curve will actually intersect the x-axis. That's it, my curve is drawn, so this is my final situation. Now I am just one step away from getting my solution set. What do I need? I need those values of x for which my expression is either greater than 0 or equal to 0. Greater than 0 means positive, equal to 0 means solid circles. So quickly catch hold of all the positive signs and the solid circles. That means what? The real numbers sitting in the first region, the real numbers sitting in the third region, along with these two critical points make my solution set. I just need to now write it in the interval form. That's it, I am done. So all real numbers in the first region including 7 is nothing but closed 7 comma open infinity. All real numbers in the third region including 5, it's nothing but minus infinity comma 5 closed here. You take the adjoin of them by taking the union. Okay, and this is my final solution set. Right? All real x belonging to this satisfy my inequality. Alternative way of reaching to the same solution set is by using this curve, okay? You want all those x for which the expression is greater than 0 or equal to 0. That means you are interested in those points on the real line corresponding to which the curve of the expression is strictly above the x-axis or intersects the x-axis. So you can see the curve is strictly above the x-axis corresponding to the first region as well as the third region, and it is intersecting the x-axis at these two critical points. So the shaded regions as well as the two critical points make my solution set, which when you convert in the interval form comes out to be the exact same set. So you have two ways to actually obtaining the solution set. Got my point? Right? Just keep in mind whenever you have equality involved in here, like in here you had greater than or equal to, you have to check which are the critical points at which the expression is turning out to be 0, and accordingly you include them in your solution set. Okay, basically what my point is, be very, very careful about what is the inequality sign in here. Is it strict or non-strict? Depending upon it only, the critical points are included or excluded in the solution set. Okay? Now, as I just shared with you that there were two ways to obtain the solution set, this is the reason why there are two names to this method. One is the method of intervals. Why? Because the critical points actually divide the entire real line into disjoint intervals, and then we assess the sign of the expression in each of the intervals as well as the critical points, and then accordingly write the solution set. That's why it's called the method of intervals. Why it's called the wavy curve method? Because you can see I can plot the curve of the expression, and then depending upon what is the demand of my inequality, I can assess whether the curve is above the x-axis, below the x-axis, or intersecting the x-axis, and accordingly using this curve I can write my solution set. Okay, so that's why the two names are associated to this method. One is the wavy curve method, other is the method of intervals. Got it? This was the complete algorithm of the wavy curve method, and this is what repeatedly we are going to use to solve any inequality involving a variable x. Now trust me, there is a humongous variety of questions which can be tackled using this method.
For more videos and live lectures on the JEE, click on the subscribe button now.